Do you think anybody is enjoying these early days of summer more than Jack Grealish?
Yeah, I forgot about that.
He is lording it up.
I mean, no one has ever turned my opinion on them quicker. In the space of 3 days, I love Jack Grealish.
It's already become a thing. It might be a short-lived thing, but they were asking Steve Cook. You know, I'd say it's going to be a wild one tonight after he won the promotion with Nottingham Forest. I said, yeah, I'm going to go full Jack Grealish tonight.
The clip from the parade about Bernardo Silva is amazing, where he's like, I'll play the clip.
I said earlier on the coach, it's been brilliant to win my first title. I want to thank everyone, but the main person that I want to thank is Bernardo Silva for coming off in the 70th minute, because he was miles off it yesterday.
Because he's miles off
on the mic on the bus. And he sounds like he's been on it for days.
Yeah.
He sounds like he smoked 100 fags.
I saw he had a few different ones where he was like, I don't know, Mara's doing this weird improv bit with Walker, like, who could stop you one-on-one? Neymar? So the crowd's like, no. And it was like weird, like pantomime thing. And then Jack Grealish grabs the mic. I did him against when I was playing for Aston Villa. That's why Pep signed me. Like, it's unbelievable. This is what I was saying. Imagine he scores 3 goals in the first half, 4 in the game against Wolves.
Yeah.
And they ask Jack Grealish what he thinks about Erling Haaland coming over.
Yeah. Superstar.
That's how you become the biggest club in the world.
He's going to have to fucking get past me.
If he wants the ball, he better get the rebound off the keeper.
What's he like on a night out?
Yeah, like this is, if Jack Grealish can replicate his off-field highlight reel with Kevin De Bruyne's on-field highlight reel, biggest club in the world.
Game over.
Biggest club in the world. I'll become a Man City fan.
Galacticals.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
No, honestly, that is nonsense. Nonsense. All nonsense. But listen, I've been on that road before. They're imposters.
Nothing to ask me, for my opinion, a little bit unfair.
But in between that, there was drinks.
Why are you talking rubbish?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a No Nonsense podcast with Cathal and Will. How do you do it, Will? How do you just decide that the Champions League is going to be your thing? Like, Real Madrid have just decided this is going to be our competition.
I'm just never going to lose it again.
No, we're just going to win it more times than not. Yeah. If we get the final, it's game over for you.
It's done. It doesn't matter how you play, what you do, it doesn't make a difference.
When's the last time they got to the final and lost? Years ago. Pre-2014.
Yeah, I can't remember one.
Like, it's just their thing. And like, we've seen, great teams in the past, and you put down to like say, obviously the example that you would know, Man United. I think, Ferguson's at the helm. That's the constant.
And the constant stream of the best players in the world.
Oh, yeah. But you can also have good players. Like, there's plenty of teams that have had the best team and didn't win it. I mean, you could argue say that Liverpool were the best team and didn't win it.
Yeah. Think
of times, Barcelona didn't win. Oh, this is going to be the year Barcelona and Real Madrid meet in the final. It wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
But it's not the same managers. Like, Zidane was gone. You say, okay, Zidane was the one in the
because that was the thing. It was like, Zidane's amazing, 3 in a row. But
yeah,
I think literally you could put anyone in. The players will just be like, we'll handle this.
But not even those players, because it's not Ramos or Ronaldo. Yeah. It's Real Madrid as an entity.
Yeah,
it's their thing. Like Toni Kroos, Modric, Benzema, like combined age of whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Vinicius is now going to score.
It's that thing we always used to talk about of like, is that actually a thing of like the 4-0s, like you remember them and then you can't come back?
Yeah.
That seems to really play a big impact.
On
other clubs too, because like as soon as Madrid scored, Liverpool seemed to be like, oh fuck, here we go. Not a chance we're going to be able to score today.
That was the one. There's the Callum Robinson loves scoring against Chelsea, and it's like years apart, and it's different teams, and he's been in the championship for last year. Sure enough, he goes back and scores against them. It's like, why do these things matter? Why do this voodoo shit that it shouldn't stack up in this world of analytics of sport? Yet Real Madrid beat the top 3 teams in England, 2 state-run clubs.
Yeah,
well, previously state-run, everything count Chelsea. No, PSG.
PSG.
Yeah, 3 top in England, and 2 state-run clubs in PSG and Man City.
Probably the 3 richest clubs. Obviously not Newcastle, but probably
Yeah.
before that.
Yeah, Newcastle next season, we'll see how they get on.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, the 3 richest teams in the Champions League.
Yeah.
They beat them all, and then beat Liverpool, arguably the best team.
I don't think they were a favourite for any of them either.
No. I mean, how long were they even ahead in any of those games?
Yeah, I think when they went up in the final, we had said that this might be the first time they've been ahead since the group stage.
Yeah.
Was it this year that they lost or drew to Sheriff?
Yes.
That's mental.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was.
Well, we should know, but wasn't it?
I'm nearly sure that was this season.
That was, yeah. Like, that's the kind of thing. It was kind of like, it was like The Last Dance.
Yeah.
Like when the Bulls set off to quit win a game, it was like maybe Michael Jordan is past at 35.
Yeah.
Maybe Scottie Pippen isn't as good as he claims to be.
Yeah.
You know, and it was just like a slow start, and it was fumbling over the group stages. The Spanish league was obviously in just a mess. Barcelona, as bad as they are, still finished second.
Quite easily. Yeah.
Atletico Madrid, I don't know, I think they're kind of in a bit of a transition period as well. They need to kind of really freshen up that squad and transition into a new squad. Maybe just in between two kind of eras, but we'll see if Simeone can do that. But like the point being that the Spanish league was not as tough as it has been in previous years. But yeah, they still won that pretty easily.
Yeah.
And they just managed to gather momentum for the Champions League. And it was just, I guess there was never ever stopping them, was there? There's never any stopping this reunion, no matter what happened.
We should have known after the second insane comeback. And when they did the third one, it's like, all right, there's nothing. Like what? Because how can you beat them? If you score against them, they're not going to care. They were like, we could score 4 in the last minute. Don't worry about it.
Especially when you have Thibaut Courtois in goal.
Oh, what a game.
Unbelievable game.
Definitely the best game I've ever seen him have.
Yeah. And it's funny that we say that, Will, because did you see his interview?
No, I actually didn't.
This is exactly what he was talking about. The disrespect in the media.
Oh, I did see the disrespect. Yeah.
Put some respect on my name, he said, more or less. Was there? Do you remember people saying, he's good, but he's no De Gea?
I always found that he was the thing. He was like, I hate it here.
I never remember people even talking about him, which maybe sounds, more disrespectful.
Maybe when he got to Madrid and he wasn't that great at first, wasn't it?
No, but he's talking about in Chelsea. He was saying the English media is like, I'm glad I won the trophy because I wasn't getting. We'll play the clip.
Yeah.
But we'll play the clip.
Yeah.
Yesterday in a press conference, I said that when Madrid plays finals, they win it, and I'm on the good side of history. And I saw a lot of tweets coming my way of that I will get humbled today, and it was the other way around. I think today I needed to win a final for my career, for all the hard work, to put respect on my name, because I don't think I have enough respect, especially in England. I saw a lot of criticisms even after a great season that I was not good enough or whatever. So I'm just really happy and proud of the performance of the team. We stuck through it, and when I needed to be there, I was there for the team.
So I guess he's...
Who are you talking about?
I don't know what he's talking about. I'm not going to go back and look, but I mean,
No.
I don't remember off the top of my head people being like, Courtois was
No, there
overrated.
was never a campaign against Courtois.
I can remember De Gea distinctly being disrespected over and over again.
Yeah.
Little Arms McGee, Pickford.
Yeah.
Everyone was raging that he was so good in the final for, and he's English.
Yeah.
Who else? I mean, Ramsey this year even a bit. People are like, he's not that good, is he?
Well, in terms of Mignolet,
I mean, that was
pushed out of the club basically.
Karius. I mean, maybe they're warranted, but like in terms of like goalies do get abused all the time. Kepa Arrizabalaga.
Yeah, they hate him.
Well, in terms of Courtois ever being like he's not that good, or he's a bit of an old waster in the spoof in the finals. No, I can't remember it, but
no.
Also very like The Last Dance. He's like this
He's
Michael
making it up, yeah.
This Michael Jordan. This is why I need the fire to save these shots from Salah.
Yeah, that famous bit where Michael Jordan invents a story in his head and then believes it for the rest of the game.
That's what I think happened here.
Insulted him.
That's what I think has happened here. But
Football,
I mean,
like sports people are psychopaths.
Oh yeah. I think as a goalie, you need to be a psychopath.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
mean, he's standing in a goal with people lashing the ball at him.
And like professionals, they hit the ball really hard.
He's 6'6". Go play some basketball.
Yeah.
You have to be a psycho to pick goalie.
Yeah, if you're going goalie over basketball.
Yeah. I mean, like, you might like football, but sure you don't want to be in goal.
Be a pro wrestler.
Be anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. But he had the game of his life, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
No respect, but the best game I've ever seen him play, I'd say.
Definitely.
It was all Liverpool, really, the whole game.
What it was like a classic Chelsea or Jose Mourinho game.
Yeah.
Score, lock it up.
They were sitting back the whole game, and it was like...
They were getting chances, though.
They had chances, and he was saving. The best chance was probably that Salah one, where he kind of cut inside, the classic Salah move.
Yeah.
You know he's going on his left.
You can't stop him.
Can't stop him, too fast, too strong.
Yeah.
It was a great save. But, I mean, towards the end, maybe about the 60th minute, 70th minute, it was... it looked kind of like they weren't going to score. It looked kind of out of ideas.
Yeah.
It was like, what is the kind of plan here?
You called it pretty early when we were watching it. About 10 minutes later, you're like, they are never going to score a goal.
I just didn't feel like it was coming.
It didn't feel like they felt it was coming. Like, you know, sometimes like you'll miss a chance or whatever, and you see the players like geeing each other up or getting the crowd up. There was none of that. It was miss a chance and then like heads drop, like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I fucked it. That was the one.
In terms of the players on the pitch who fucked it, maybe no one really. I'd say Thiago wasn't fit.
Yeah, I think he was rushed back.
I heard that he was injured before the game and he was magically starting.
Yeah.
And Van Dijk also starting. I don't know, why wouldn't you just play... who's on the bench for...
Keita, I suppose.
Keita, yeah. I don't know, it didn't seem like they had some that kind of like... You need like really sharp pass in the middle, which he does offer, but he just wasn't doing it. That's why you need to break them down, but...
That's another thing with squad depth, is you have to have players... Like, you can have... Like, Keita is a great player, but is he the type of player that the manager's going to go, oh, I don't know if I want to put him in the final. Like, for a really good squad depth, you know, like Pep, I'd say, you could put 11 names on the board. He's like, perfect.
Yeah. I mean, that was the thing when they put on the subs when they beat Aston Villa.
Yeah.
Like, at times, like, wow, that was really good substitution. But then afterwards, I think people were like, yeah, well, like...
you could put on anyone.
You could close his eyes and pointed.
Yeah, through a dart.
And somebody savage would have come on. So, like, you're never going to get as much credit when you have a big squad like that.
Yeah.
I guess Klopp made the call that 60% Thiago is better than the full Sam Keita. I don't know. I felt they were a bit blunt.
Yeah.
Like, just, you know, there was something missing there. Salah had a few chances. Man had a great chance in the first half.
Yeah.
If that goes in, different game, you know, but it didn't, I suppose.
One of the most dramatic VAR calls I've ever seen as well.
Yes.
That went on for, it felt like 10 minutes in the pub.
Yeah.
People chewing their nails.
It should say we were watching the game in the pub. A very different experience watching at home.
Yeah.
Because no sound on for one.
Yeah.
You can hear the commentary.
It was like we were there.
You can hear the commenters from the surround sound behind you, but you can't really hear any of the crowd noises.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it was like 60 minutes. The TV went into auto shutdown.
Yeah.
And the crowd, the
biggest roar of the night.
Yeah, but of course the bar staff are really, really busy because it's a sunny Saturday in May.
Yeah.
So they don't know for ages, and it's getting kind of rowdy in the first half. And then as the night goes on, you know, the daytime people are starting to mix in with the nighttime people who are coming in who are like, I'm just going out here for a few pints.
Yeah.
And, you know, no one's watching the game. People are walking in front of you constantly.
Yeah.
You know, people just got to stop and stand in your way. And I want to see what's going on in this game. You're kind of physically moving out of the way.
Yeah.
A lot of Liverpool fans in Carlo, but also a lot of Madrid fans, turns out, Will.
Yeah. That was, I think, the best thing about the first VAR call, because that was the first big close moment.
Yeah.
And because it was VAR, it was like silence for a while. But then, before the VAR call, when it went in at first.
The goal was in, yeah. Massive shout.
Huge roar. And then from then on, it was like the room was like, oh, there's actually not that many Liverpool fans here.
Yeah.
But before that, I think everyone felt like, oh, it's me and all the Liverpool fans watching this.
Yeah,
so as soon as that happened, it got quite rowdy.
It did. And then, of course, the VAR call, it's overturned it, and there's, you know, fuck you,
man.
Fuck you, man. Yeah. It was great. But it's definitely different experience in terms of like trying to watch it and remember things that happened.
Yeah.
But I did write some notes at the time, so I wouldn't forget.
Good notes too.
So yeah, that was the first one. Was the TV turn off? That was probably the biggest moment of the game for us.
Biggest moment of the game,
yeah. The right back power rankings. We're just thinking because last year Reece James almost got in. I think he did get in the end by virtue of playing in the final.
Yeah, that was the rule.
He's playing longer than Trent.
Whoever plays last gets it.
This year it was only Trent.
Yeah.
Bad game to be playing in. I was the only person in Coach Southgate's eyes.
Yeah.
Can't the ball behind him there a little bit for Iskus? Who do you think is behind there? I mean, it is his man. It wasn't like it was the centre backs. Like, what's he doing here? It's like, is Vaniscus on his side? The guy really marking. Like Valverde hit like a cross, shot come cross kind of.
Yeah, just kind of lashed
it across, and it went through everybody.
Yeah,
went past Van Dijk, went past I think Henderson maybe as well, and then Trent just watched it roll past him, and
one of those goals where you're like, that must have been offside. Because it was so easy. And even like the Madrid players celebrating are like quite muted because they're like, I don't know about that. And then it's just, it's a goal. That was totally fine.
You think it must have been offside because surely Trent,
why didn't he put a foot out?
He would have known where the man is. Surely as a defender, professional defender in Champions League final, he doesn't just let the man in behind him. It was good finishes, I suppose.
Yeah.
From Ballon d'Or bound Vinicius.
Yeah.
Eric Garcia punched in the air right now.
I saw a magazine cover from a few years ago from when Madrid bought him.
Yeah.
And he was like 40 million.
Yeah.
And the magazine cover said, in 4 years, they'll wish they paid more.
Nice.
Yeah, very cool.
True, though. I mean,
very accurate, too.
That's one of those things where it's like, he's paid back that 40 million now. You know, I mean, he's been pretty good for the last couple of seasons, but that was a big moment.
Big moment. He was really good in the semi-finals. I remember he absolutely burnt someone.
Yeah. No, he is savage.
Yeah.
And I think that's the kind of, someone with pace like that and kind of electric player like that. It's like, but like, it's just a finish he needs to prove. That one he scored against Man City, that was like, that's a serious finish. And this one, it wasn't even a tough finish, but I think it means something to score in a final because it's always more pressure. It's always like, it was a tap in any other game, but this is like to win the game. This is the only goal. Salah never scored in a final.
Yeah, 3 finals for Liverpool, no goals this season, and 2 dire games, 1 good one. Yeah,
it did feel like they kind of ran out of steam a bit towards the end of the year.
Correct.
Towards the end of the year, 63 games.
The only team to ever play all of the games, and it showed.
The max amount of games, yeah. I don't know. That's what people saying all year long. You got to concentrate on one. You can't win it all.
We were telling Liverpool fans all year, I know it's good now, just wait. Mané is going to leave.
But yeah, of course, like that's the thing. You've played all the games. You just want to, go on holiday, take a break. So you got to have the parades. You got to do it. I don't want to wait 2 weeks. We got to do it this week.
Yeah.
So they said, look, we'll either win the Champions League and we'll have a parade for it, or we won't and we'll have a parade for the other 2 trophies.
FA Cup, basically. Yeah.
But you can't escape the feeling of like, this is the parade that should have been for Champions League and we didn't win it. Yes, you got 2 other trophies there, but it's not. It has to feel like this is.
Yeah, I did think like when I saw the like ad for it or whatever, I was like, who wants that? That's playing there. But it did seem like by the end of it, I saw that the stuff from the players being like, that was actually the best day of my life. Like I was feeling so down coming into it. It was really nice.
Except for Mané, of course.
Oh yeah, he couldn't give a shit.
Mané apparently leaving now.
Yeah,
heading off to Bayern.
He's probably on the bus checking his phone furiously.
He just looked so sad at the picture of him on the bus. He was so sad. I don't know what that was.
He made a very bold call of saying like, "Hey, speak to me after the final. I'll let everyone know then."
He made it seem like he's going to say, "I'm going to stay."
So I think
he said you'll get the answer you want.
So this is what I think happened. I think he said to the journalist will get the answer they want, and he said, "Oh, I'm going to put that in the headline." And he fucked it because if you win the Champions League, what a legend. You can go off with your head held high. If you lose the Champions League the next day, you're like, I'm out of here. Yeah. That feels you're like, you don't believe in this, do you?
You probably said you'll get what you want, the answer. Yeah. I get the answer I want? No, not the opposite. No, that's what I said.
Writing it down.
Going to print.
Posted.
Yeah, that happens all the time. I think I did see a thing where Messi was responding, Messi responding to Lewandowski, who was responding to, remember Messi said, oh yeah, Lewandowski should have won or whatever. Yeah. And it was kind of like misquote or translate wrong to make it seem more... No, I think Messi said, I think Lewandowski probably should have won it, whatever. And then Lewandowski came back, and the quote was, yeah, well, if you should have won, then give it to me or something like that, or like that's an empty gesture or whatever. And Lewandowski said, that's not what I said at all. Like that's completely misquote. And now Messi responded with it like a year later. It's like this is exactly what I wanted. They want to build up this going to be. So goes what Mané said. All we know now is that he said afterwards in the game at the dressing room that he's leaving. Yeah. Off to Bayern.
It sets off the chain reaction. We haven't had a transfer chain reaction in a while of Mané to Bayern, Lewandowski to somewhere, someone to someone, the bounce around. Because I think the idea is Lewandowski to Barca. Yeah. I don't know how they're affording that. But apparently the idea for affording that is they're going to sell De Jong to United.
Yeah.
So it all So we need Mané to Bayern.
These things never work out.
No,
they never domino exactly because someone pulls out.
They take too long, and by the time that transfer's done, we already bought a midfielder. We're pressed for time here.
So yeah, I don't know where Liverpool go from here. I suppose
tough season to come back from.
It's go from the quadruple to just 2 cups. It's like
because it's like, what are you going to do? Build on it? Like, don't worry, lads. Next year they'll win the quadruple. You can't say that. It's like if you win like one thing or like just get to the Champions League final, just miss it. Next season you're going to be hungry for it. Yes, we know we can do it.
Yeah,
but like, you can't do better than that. You're just like,
well, I didn't get it.
No, but you're gonna wear out. You can't get to all the finals again. No way.
Oh, that's what Klopp said. He's like, "Where's the final next year?" And he said,
book it,
book it, boys."
Yeah, I'm sure those.
Look, this is what Klopp does. You see him after on the bus.
Yeah,
this is the greatest club in the world, or whatever he says. Like,
I don't fucking leaving.
Yeah, like that's what he does, man. That's his bread and butter is get people G'd up and get people. This has been the best year you've ever had in your life, actually. Yeah. So if anybody can do it to him, turn this loss into a W.
It's definitely time for a refresh, though. I think.
Yeah, it does feel like that.
Like Firmino, surely is like even seeing Diaz starting before him in the final.
He was not good, by the way.
No, it looked like
Carvajal had the clamps on him.
Yeah,
he absolutely put the clamps on him.
A big pressure game, that's far and away the biggest game he's ever played in his life. Like,
and I will say Carvajal probably took over the mantle of best right back in the world when Lamb retired.
Yeah,
I think genuinely he's been like super consistent and like just really good attacking and defending. Like he put that ball in against City. Like completely stopped Diaz, who's like totally fresh this season. He didn't even look worried about him, to be honest.
Yeah.
In comparison, like with Trent Alexander-Arnold, you know what I mean? Like Diaz wasn't sneaking in behind anybody.
No, God no.
You know, but yeah, no. It's tough as well because like they've been such a good team.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for, a state-run club, Man City,
they would literally have won everything.
They'd have won how many Premier Leagues, Champions Leagues, but they didn't.
It didn't happen. No one's going to remember that.
And that's life, like this. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like unfortunate. It's like it's not fair, and life isn't fair, and you sound like a kind of big tough guy when you say that. But like it is the truth as well.
Yeah. Like
that is just the way what you're faced with.
Because if it was totally fair, sport would be shit. Because it'd just be like, the best team won it this year.
Yeah, it's like United were like 7 points and goal difference away from 15 in a row. Yeah, but they didn't. So
exactly.
You can't just say these things happened.
Yeah.
And like it doesn't matter how close you are or what if you deserve it or whatever, or that's not fair. But I mean, in terms of a great Liverpool team. The other teams that won those European Cups and the league titles, like that isn't this Liverpool team. Like these are really good players, and they won huge amount of games. And listen, people are like laughing at Liverpool now, but I much would rather if this had been Arsenal this year than Arsenal. If Arsenal had the season that Liverpool had, because you got the finals, you got to see great goals and great games. We're like this year, Arsenal, like, well, maybe we have a bit of hope for next year.
Yeah,
you
live the season week to week, kind of. You don't wait until the end and look back and go, actually, that was bad.
No, going to games and watching games every week with the expectation you're going to win.
It's just the hope. That's all you're looking for.
Yeah, you just see your team win most weeks. Like, that's what you want, you know. So I mean, for the fans, it's great in terms of like say looking back and on the season. Is it a great Liverpool team? I don't know. Is it?
It's so impossible to say.
It feels really harsh to say.
It felt like they were bad in every final.
Yeah, which is like kind of the.
Now 2 of those finals were against Chelsea, and like 2.
Oh well, listen, you're playing against good teams, obviously in the final,
and like that's unlucky to play the same team twice when the manager is very good at managing exactly against you.
And I wouldn't mind that the finals didn't play well and won because they still won it. So no one's going to remember what the finals like. There's lots of finals that are fucking terrible.
Yeah.
But I mean, I just think it's like one Champions League and one league. It's like, is that all? Like, I mean, for like a team this good, you feel like they should have won more.
Yeah.
I mean, and again, if it's like they should have, it's like expected goals. Like, what's it mean you should have? What's it mean expected goals? Like, they did or they didn't. But I don't know. Like I say, for Mané's gone now. Salah's things up in the air a little bit.
He's staying next season anyway. But I think that was always going to be the case. Because why would he leave before he can get the massive free agent thing?
Yeah. Like, I don't just... Henderson's
getting on as well. Like Henderson got hooked in that game because he was fucking tired.
So I think they are probably... It's like that period between the 99 United team and the... Yeah. Like the kind when Rooney and Ronaldo became a bit older. Like that 2000s to 2003 period there.
That must be what Klopp is after though, because it's signing the 5-year deal. He's kind of like, that.
Yeah.
Like if it's 5 years, all right, things. I need to have a list of things I want to do. It's not like 2 more years of it being really good non-stop.
Yeah.
Like he definitely wants to set this up.
But I feel like that is the challenge now, where they probably won't get back to the heights this year, next year, or maybe the year
People said
after.
that last year too, though.
Oh, they did, and I don't know. I just think Mané leaving, like Mané's one of their, if not their best player,
Yeah,
best tackle player for sure.
yeah.
I think he is probably better than Salah.
Yeah, Salah dropped off a cliff this season. Like.
I think Salah played better with Firmino.
Yeah,
Firmino and him really linked up well.
Yeah.
And Firmino at the team hasn't really helped. I mean, he still scored the record goals this year.
Yeah. Again, the whole thing,
But-
like Liverpool, I know it seems good. It's actually bad.
Yeah, I don't know. And then, what about Carlo Ancelotti?
Man.
Well, he's got more Champions League than leagues. And
and he's won a lot of leagues.
I think he won 5 leagues in 20 years.
Something like that, yeah.
And at Chelsea, Real Madrid, AC Milan.
Totally, he's won all the top 5, isn't it?
Well, he's met the richest clubs in these leagues and won 1 league at the time. So he's not really a good league manager.
Yeah,
But again, knockout competitions. He loves managing the cup.
yeah.
He's a cup guy.
I mean, we were talking a few weeks ago about him managing egos and stuff what happened to Everton as soon as he left.
He gives him a bit of a shout out, actually.
Yeah.
You've completed a double this season. Obviously, it proves right your decision to leave Everton. So, where does this season rank overall in your career now?
I am happy to be here, and I don't know how long. I hope a long time, but I was happy also at Everton, and the Evertonian will be happy tonight.
Have you had any messages of congratulations from Everton?
I received a lot of messages from Leighton Baines, Duncan, all the staff of Everton. I have a good memory of them.
Leighton Baines gets an impromptu shout out there from Champions League winning manager Carlo Ancelotti.
Yeah.
He still wants to stay there for a long time, but I mean, will he?
It's Real Madrid. I like it because they're so good. If they lose one thing, it's like you're out, mate.
Yeah.
You need to win this all the time. We're clearly good enough to.
Now, do they go through a rebuild?
See, all their not all their team. A lot of their team is very young though. They've already started a bit, I think.
Yeah, it's just that the main players like Benzema and Kroos and Modric. How do you replace them?
Yeah.
I mean, Haaland would have been. You'd think you're replaced, or Mbappe maybe.
Mbappe. Well, did you see what the Madrid president said about Mbappe?
Who?
He was saying,
Florentino Perez.
Yeah.
He
was saying right after the game, he's like, "Look, we don't think about Mbappe. He's a forgotten man."
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, if you're Mbappe, I know his deal was insane, but that does have to sting seeing them win the Champions League a week after.
Her, that bitch. I don't think about her at all.
Yeah.
Doesn't even cross my mind. Not daily at all. No, fuck her. But I don't care. I don't care. Who? Sorry, what did she say? What was the question?
I can't hear you over this huge trophy and blocking my vision.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see how Real Madrid probably retain for another 3 years in a row, maybe.
What did you make of every Real Madrid player ever in existence being in the crowd for the game?
Yeah, a lot of celebs with the game.
Yeah. Like every finish, look, it's fucking Seedorf.
Seedorf, Nadal was there, Zidane was there. Ronaldo was there. Zidane was wearing a cool hoodie.
Yeah, Zidane looked very cool.
He looked very relaxed. I
wonder, was he hiding?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah.
So I would have been, but it did look like he was on the run from somebody. But yeah, I have to watch this game.
Yeah.
But I can't be seen.
Get the camera off me.
They were lucky enough to get in the ground. Some people weren't.
Yeah.
Some really bad policing.
Did you see the clip
French
of
police.
Henry from, I think, right before or the day before the game or something like that, doing punditry for something else, talking about the final? And they were like, "Oh, you must be excited, Henry, final in Paris." And he went, not Paris, Saint-Denis, very different. Implying no, it's not going to be very nice.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was Stade Francis.
I don't know where the fuck it was, but yeah, he said it wasn't going to be lovely, basically.
Yeah.
They didn't press him on it, but he was very much like, "Oh, I think this is going to be a disaster."
Well, we know it's not the Eiffel Tower, Henri. Yeah. Fucking hell. Don't be a Paris snob right now. No one else knows what you're talking about. Ooh, the east side of Paris? It's I don't know what that means, man.
There was some amazing footage of... I mean, did you see the clip of the guy casually walking up, getting his ticket scanned, walking through the turnstile, totally normal, pepper spray.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. I mean, the reports that came out were that the French police were very worried about the English fans coming over. I mean, for historical reasons, I guess. And there was a series of bottlenecks and blockades that stopped Liverpool fans, like in large numbers, coming through the stadium to check them all individually. Yeah. I think they all came in like at once, I guess.
Yeah.
But they thought
there's a few videos of people rushing and stuff.
They thought that they would come in like bit by bit, but I guess they're all kind of at the pubs beforehand. Yeah. I guess it's what kind of English football fans do, because apparently the Spanish fans came in like in dribs and drabs, whereas Liverpool fans were at the pub and they went,
they're all singing, they're fucking there together. Yeah.
And then it's about out for the game, let's go in. Yeah. And they all kind of went together, and the French police hadn't really thought of that. I guess that they all came at once. So because there was like such a bottleneck, they were stopped outside the stadium waiting to get in. And as Henri mentioned, rough part of the town, all these French locals, youths, tried to like get in with the crowd and like try and we all just pile in together.
Yeah, apparently there was a lot of pickpocketing going on.
Pickpocketing and stuff like that. And then they started climbing one of the fences where all Liverpool fans had stopped. Like, we're in with them now, let's all climb the fence. Yeah. And that's when the police started pepper spraying them.
Yeah, tear gassing as well.
Tear gas and pepper spraying. But like, it was French people and local people who didn't have tickets, and then all Liverpool fans all together. So they're all getting pepper sprayed, one big brush they're getting painted with here. So the Liverpool fans like, what are you doing? Like, we're waiting here with tickets, with genuine tickets. Yeah. And now there's a story coming out from the French authorities. The French Interior Minister was on saying, not on the podcast, he was on TV. We're going to play that through later on.
Yeah, he's on next week.
He was saying that there was majority was fake tickets, which,
no way.
Conflicting reports say that wasn't the case. It was real tickets. Yeah. And they're saying the French police did a great job. They stopped violence and deaths occurring.
I love it. That.
And it's like, it's always them, isn't it? Always English fans, always them. So it's a bit of a mess, to be honest. There's a bit of people saying it was their fault. Yeah. The French people saying, nah, you know what they're like, those English. Yeah. Which only really flies because there's too many kind of on-hand reports of like...
I mean, apparently Joel Matip's pregnant wife got tear gas. What trouble was she causing? Like,
she definitely had a ticket, man.
Yeah, Robertson's family couldn't get in. They got tear gassed.
Yeah, the players probably had a ticket. They weren't coming in fake tickets,
And they also probably weren't there on the lash. They go to games every week. They were behaving themselves, I'd imagine.
So it was a total clusterfuck, and there's been investigations into it. I think Rangers are also trying to investigate their clashes with the Frankfurt fans. But the funny thing is that he did say, it's English fans, you know what they're like. Yeah. And it was literally, 2 days ago? Said Etienne fans stormed the pitch after
the most
relegation.
Aggressive pitch invasion I've ever seen. Like, we were saying, the Everton one seemed dangerous. This seemed much more dangerous.
Well, this was a pitch invasion from a team that got relegated, so they were actually angry. Yeah. And they bombarded like the technical area, I suppose, with flares.
Why did they bring the flares? Like, did they think they were going to celebrate?
I don't know, man. But like, they like were lobbing a lobby of flares into the area. The players rushing on the pitch. Like, that was all. Remember last year's pitch invasion as well from the French league? Yeah. It just seems a bit rich to say it's only English fans, and it just feels like kind of thing that you would have got away with before social media. Like, fake tickets, Liverpool fans.
That's the whole thing with Hillsborough. They were like, it was the fans.
It
wasn't that like 100,000 people or whatever. Fucking like loads of people were just let in with the and stuff like that.
It's fucking everything, man. It's like just always blame the plastic straws in the ocean.
Yeah.
Paper straws for you anymore. Not the massive global conglomerates.
Not the oil spills.
Not the oil spills, or the massive amounts of plastic from companies going in. It's the plastic straws. It's the fans.
It's the little people.
The fans are pushing and shoving too much. We had to pepper spray them.
We had to tear down them. And amazingly, while all this is going on, just feet away, Camille Cabello is playing Havana to a crowd who do not give a fuck.
Yeah.
With like pyro, again, very Eurovision-y. And just the contrast is like, literally, we were saying, imagine the drone shot zoom out.
Yeah.
Oh, it would have been amazing.
I just saw her since tweet. Yeah, complaining about why were they booing me? Why I was trying to make the vibe right.
Yeah, that's what the game needed.
Yeah,
it just doesn't work in football. There's something about it that like there's not as much pageantry in football. People aren't there for that.
Yeah,
because it's dramatic enough. You don't need the fucking.
I think it was when the Super Bowl this year when they had The Rock announcing the kickoff from that.
Yeah.
And people were like, wow, football has a long way to go when we get to this. Because people kind of felt like it was getting a bit mad. It's like, okay, well, you have a long gap between The Rock announcing the game at the start or whatever.
Here's Dr. Dre and everyone he's ever performed with.
Yeah. No, that was that meant to be the halftime show, the Kamika Bio thing, and he just went, just put on now.
Put on that we've fucking half an hour to kill because the game's delayed.
And everyone was booing it, and she got mad about it. And then they were booing then the UEFA national anthem, the Champions League anthem, I get. The UEFA national anthem. Yeah, the Champions League anthem, the Real Madrid fan, everyone was booing it because it was like, this is an absolute joke. Like, you've been sitting this stadium for hours.
Spent a fortune to get there.
Yeah, so a bad look for UEFA.
Won't bother them.
It won't bother them. It never does.
Them,
never has, never will.
No. The World Cup's on in Qatar in a few months.
Yeah. So yeah, Real Madrid, Champions League, World Champions, best team in the world.
Yep.
Liverpool, I don't know. We'll see how they go next year. But
where do they go?
Like I say, if this is Arsenal won the FA Cup and the Carling Cup, I would be delighted.
Oh yeah, best season ever.
But if we're on track for the quadruple, it can only feel like a disappointment, really.
Yeah.
It can only feel like a disappointment.
Yeah, well, I was talking to my brother the other day, who's a ardent Liverpool fan, and he was pretty much saying it was the worst week of his life. Our boy Lewandowski, who we talked about non-stop last year.
Yeah,
never really mentioned
like a long time ago now.
Yeah. I scored like 50 goals this year.
I didn't get near that. We would have heard about it, surely. You know us on top of this.
Yeah, but he said he's done. He's fucked
done.
Up
yeah, that's I suppose the agenda now for the rest of summer. Transfer news.
It's time. Yeah.
It feels like it's going to be a big transfer summer, to be honest.
Because last year it was like COVID was still around. People we don't want to spend too much. We might get closed again. We need this money to pay everyone.
Players didn't want to kind of move country and stuff. It was like, oh, we'll see
like,
how it gets on.
You don't know what the different. You're either afraid of COVID in the other countries, or you're like, you can't be fucking arsed with all the.
You're moving your family to a school, to online. I don't know, a lot of different things. Where that's what I'm saying. This summer now is going to be right back to the old days, like all that stuff that you never thought about before. You know, we're back, baby.
Well, did you see the City owner or whoever talks for City? saying they're going to spend big for the rest of the summer. They're like Haaland and the other guy they bought. I can't even remember. But they've already spent big. But he's like, oh no, it hasn't started yet. They were like, we had to do them. This is where we'll actually start spending now. Like they were obviously planned before they lost the Champions League and stuff. After losing the Champions League, no way.
No. There's a few different rumours coming out about clubs going to be spending big. Arsenal and Tottenham have made these.
Tottenham got a cash injection from their owners, which I don't think I've ever heard from Spurs. Anyone who's not an oil club or like one of those, like just a regular owned club, being like, we're going to put a lot of money in strictly just to buy players.
Yeah. No, well, look, there's an opening there. I mean, Man United are still a bit of shambles. Arsenal seem to be lacking something. There's a spot there in that fourth spot. They're like, why not?
I don't know how long Conte is going to like.
All right, Gary Neville. It's like, that's complete conjecture. You know, if he gets what he wants, his problem's always been not getting what he wants. Yeah. You know, if you're a Tottenham's owner, you're thinking, we built this state-of-the-art stadium. Yeah. Everyone knows about our state-of-the-art stadium. We actually have good players. We have a good manager who can seem. They're getting, what's your man name from Inter? Perisic. People are like, oh yeah, he's 33. But that's the kind of player who wouldn't come to Tottenham at 33. Yeah, like, 100%. Why would I spend my last year at Tottenham? Yeah. He's thinking there might be a chance to actually win something and compete for something here.
And that's the, like...
That's the Conte factor.
The Conte factor. And as well, that's the type of thing of being like, they're willing to spend for right now. Like, they're not thinking about like, oh, well, what value does he hold?
You won't set him on for anything. It's no, you won't. But
he's here and he might win you something.
The value being the goals and assists he gets, exactly. Which is, you know, how I guess football clubs should be run, but rarely these days they are. Yeah. There's two types of clubs. There's like the Liverpool club who like don't re-sign people over 30. Yeah. And then there's the state-run clubs like City and PSG who
cares?
Just spend money like it's going out of fashion. And that's it. And if you're either one that competes on like Moneyball type stringent statistical
unbelievably set up board and staff and
manager, like these diamonds, like Mané and Salah were diamonds in the rough.
Yeah,
they're two best players. Like, you know, unsustainable, you might say. You know, and then there's the Man City spending. Also, you might say unsustainable. That's how football clubs run now. Yeah, I think Tottenham are gonna try and be one of them.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit of both. But I mean, listen, Liverpool spend what, like 200 million net
Something, yeah.
versus $1 billion.
Yeah.
That City or Man United spend. So I mean, that's probably where we're talking. Think we could be that, but
Yeah,
we got to do it smart. But I mean, also buying something like that, like when they bought Milner,
Yeah.
that was like, this is a kind of a culture guy.
Yeah.
You know, I think Percy's that kind of thing. So yeah, Tottenham. It might be a bit early for
absolute.
no, not for absolute, but for a preseason prediction, perhaps. Yeah. But I mean, yeah, I think they feel like they're about their business.
They're going
summer.
for it, yeah.
We'll see how Arsenal do. Apparently, similar kind of. Oh, yeah, we're going to spend money too. I'll believe when I see it.
Yeah. Well, what do you make of them trying to make Jesus their main guy?
Oh, is he going to? Is he?
Well, that's their plan. Apparently, is they want him as the guy for the goals, which I don't think he's.
If Pep can convince him to stay and do the job he did this year and be kind of play, 2/3 of the games, not the big games,
yeah,
then the Man City will want to keep him because he was good for them.
Yeah,
I know he scored 4 goals in one game. That's upped his numbers, but like he was still there to score 4 goals in one game. If he wasn't there, and say Haaland's injured or suspended or whatever, and then you draw the game 1-1.
Yeah,
and you lose the league.
It's
like
over.
It's those kind of small margins when you have a team like Liverpool or other teams coming good. So yeah, I'd say Man City would want to keep him. Pep might be able to convince him to stay.
Yeah, I can't imagine him at a non-Pep team. Like he's definitely going to get much less instructions. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, who's the most like Pep in the league?
That's your boy,
Arteta. He'll be doing that same thing. Maybe not the same advice or not the same resources and
he'll
players
know
around
Pep
him.
used him. He was there.
Yeah. So from that point of view, I think it might work for Arsenal, but I'd be surprised if City let him go.
Yeah, I think so too. Or they won't let him go cheap. Like
no, I think if Arsenal got Champions League, he definitely wouldn't have gone there. Like City would be like, oh, no chance. I'm not going to another Champions League club.
Yeah.
Because it's Europa League, like maybe. We'll see. But yeah, I guess we'll more on that story as it progresses.
Yeah.
Or do we have Irish games coming up though, don't we?
We have a good few Irish games coming up. There's like 4 Nations League games coming up. We play Armenia on Wednesday, I think.
Armenia Wednesday. Let's get the old Ireland games up.
Speaking of, did you see what Kevin De Bruyne said about the Nations League?
He loves this. Great competition.
Yeah, pretty much.
Really?
No.
Oh.
Very much no. He said it's a waste of time, a waste of energy. I'm not interested in it. I think Belgium play on Wednesday.
It's like verbatim.
It's pretty much. He pretty much like, I've no interest in it. It's a waste.
Yeah.
And didn't they lose the final last year? And Courtois was very angry about it.
Yeah, I think we played a clip of that from Courtois.
I think we were the only podcast to cover it.
Maybe that was disrespect you're talking about. This podcast.
Oh, that makes sense.
Wow.
Because, he's not going to know the difference between the English media and the Irish media. He's going to think it's all.
He's going to think we're one of the big players.
Yeah. He saw a clip on TikTok.
Yeah, we should get TikTok going again. Follow us on TikTok, folks, if you can.
Follow us on TikTok.
Also, I did spot we have a few new followers on Spotify.
New followers, new listeners. The keywords worked last week.
Well, the point being, new followers, give us 5 stars on Spotify.
Yeah, big time.
Get up those rankings.
If that's how it works, we think it is.
We don't know, but I mean, a lot of the good podcasts have a lot of ratings.
Yeah.
Don't rate us badly, though.
No, rate it 5 stars or don't rate us, please.
Yeah.
A 1 star would thank us.
Do us right or don't do us at all.
Yeah.
5 stars or, don't. And if you don't get 5 stars, that's fine, but just don't tell anybody.
That's fine, yeah.
Don't let anybody know.
We don't know who you are, so you don't need to.
So we got Armenia versus Ireland, Saturday, 4th of June.
Win for Ireland.
Ireland, Ukraine at home, obvious reasons.
Win for Ireland.
Wednesday, 8th of June. And then Ireland, Scotland, 11th of June.
Win for Ireland. At
home again. 3 home games in a row. Pretty good. Oh, Armenians are in Armenia. And then we play Ukraine away on the 14th of June.
That's an interesting game.
So June is full of games.
Yeah. That was never the case before, was it?
This is Nations League, baby.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it. Well, I guess this is World Cup time, so there's no World Cup. So get the fucking Nations League in.
Exactly. And besides, I know it's like, it's a waste of time, these Nations League games. No more waste time than the friendlies.
Yeah.
The difference being he just wouldn't play the friendlies.
Yeah,
and no one would
you
care.
could still be on your holiday, yeah.
Yeah.
It is a bit mad to make the players play the Nations League in the summer when the World Cup is on in the winter.
Yeah, well, again...
Liverpool just played 62 games and now they're fucking fly to wherever.
Yeah, this again, organised by UEFA.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's not really a real surprise there.
Not too fussed.
But yeah, I suppose that is kind of the plan for the summer, I guess.
A loosey-goosey summer for the pod.
Well, it's always loosey-goosey, so...
Loosier or goosier?
We'll follow the Irish games. I think we'll do it every week, I suppose.
Yeah.
I would like to say we'll do it after an Irish game, but I just know that one of us would say, I'm actually away for the week.
Yeah.
And wouldn't tell each other beforehand.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
we just wouldn't do it for 2 weeks. So
yeah, I forgot Ireland were playing.
We'll just do it every week. And if there's Ireland game on, we'll cover it. If not,
there'll be news, there'll be transfer news.
You know, we'll keep you.
I'm sure there'll be some kind of scandals. We're due a scandal.
Loads of stuff. Anytime we think there's not going to be anything happen next week, that's when it really kicks
Super
off.
League, fucking anything. Who knows what we're in for next?
Yeah. So stay tuned.
Yeah.
And again, 5 stars.
Yeah.
Raise 5 stars, and we'll be back next week.
Yeah, some stage.
At some stage, we may be back.
Yeah, possibly.
No, honestly, that is nonsense. Nonsense. All nonsense. But listen, I've been on that road before.
They're imposters.
I think to ask me, for my opinion, a little bit unfair.
But in between that, there was drinks.
Why are you talking rubbish?